reason I survive, cause it's special first. You get successful, then it gets stressful, thirst. Gonna test you, see what your texture's worth. Diamonds and pipes.
Hi, it's Shay Myra here from Mind Body Soul UK, and I'm here today with a very special guest from America. Would you like to introduce yourself?
How y'all doing? My name is Brandarius Johnson.
Yeah. Would you like to tell the people a bit more about what you do and who you are?
Okay. So as she said, I'm from America, United States of America. I have a nonprofit organization over here called Heart to Give, and a motivational brand called Day One Ambition, where I'm utilizing my life story and my voice to be an advocate for mental health, and finding innovative and creative ways to break the stigma, and just hopefully prevent people from dying by suicide.
Amazing. I love that. That you're making a real difference to society, so I respect that.
I appreciate that. Likewise, same to you.
Sorry, what do you say?
I said I appreciate that. Likewise, and same to you.
Oh, thank you. What was the inspiration behind your brand, Day One Ambition?
Okay, so I'll give you a quick rundown about myself. For the majority of my life, I played football. I thought I was gonna be a professional football player.
Oh, amazing!
And that journey fell short. But I think throughout that journey, I learned many lessons about myself, and life, adversity. And Day One Ambition was a way for me to communicate to myself that if you should ever wake up and you don't have the same passion you have to do what you do on day one, whether it be a job or a relationship that you're in, then it was time to reconsider your life and make some changes.
Oh, I like that.
That was that was the thought concept around that. But more importantly, it was the loss of a close friend, my first love, to suicide, that really catapulted my whole journey as far as motivation and advocating for better mental health.
Sorry to hear that. That's so sad.
Appreciate it. And that was a very eye-opening, life-changing experience. And a lot of what I learned from football, with going through injuries, was that what I felt was so crazy to me was happening to so many other people and would continue to happen. It was just crazy that it happened to me. So when I experienced the suicide, that was kind of the mindset I had, even though that was easily the hardest thing that I'd ever been through. And I knew it would change me forever. I somewhat had a mental framework of how I would keep myself moving forward. And my personal philosophy that every day is day one. And, yesterday's gone, tomorrow may never come. So all you truly have was that day. So that's what I used to carry myself year in and year out, day in and day out. And now see that the same philosophy and my story and my journey and my efforts are encouraging others. So now it's like it's limitless, and take the message around the world and, connecting with individuals like yourself.
Yeah.
So
love that.
It's a beautiful journey.
Yeah. It takes real strength and determination to do things like that, when you're going through hard times yourself.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So yeah, I think what you're doing is amazing, and I think that you can really go far. So yeah, keep pushing.
Appreciate that.
How has you doing work within the community had a positive impact on your life?
You said, how does work in the community?
Yeah.
I think in multiple ways. Number one, something I've seen or heard from Denzel Washington. He said,
"Oh, that's my favorite actor."
Yeah. Hey, I love Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
But he said, one of his videos, the best thing you can do for someone else, for yourself, is do something for someone else. You get this instant feeling of gratification, and I think sometimes that's all we need to keep moving, to know that, you do bring something to the world, you do have a purpose. Yeah. And that's like one of my most prominent concepts on my shirts, is that the world wouldn't spin the same without you. So, it's a constant reminder when you do something, sometimes you may not necessarily see the benefits of it, but there's sometimes where you get an instant or immediate reaction, unless you know what you did was needed. Yeah. And I also believe that anything you do in the community, people will see it. It may provoke them to start also doing things to make it better. So
Yeah.
that's some of the things that I, stand on and believe in.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I love that. I love that because even if you're making a difference to one person's life, that's one person you're making a difference to. And I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
that everybody can make a positive impact on somebody's life in some way.
100%. I believe it 100%.
Yeah. What do you think are the main influences for depression having a big impact on society?
Yeah, man, I think in terms of main issues, I think anything could be a main issue to each person. Right now, with these situations in the pandemic, I would say isolation, lack of resources, financial issues.
Hmm.
People are dealing with drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, abuse, and I feel like there's so many little things, big things I think that contribute to someone's mental health and sanity, that can lead to depression, that can lead to anxiety, uh, and then from there, things can go two ways. It can either get worse or it can get better. But I don't think there's one thing that causes depression. I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
A
definitely agree with
combination of
that.
both, a combination of many things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There's just so many factors when it comes to mental health, whether it's social, psychological, it could literally, it could be environmental. So, yeah,
Right.
there's so many factors based around it. Do you
Yeah.
think that lockdowns have had a bigger effect when it comes to depression?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, just because of the simple fact that for some people, school is a safe haven.
Yeah.
For
I
some
agree.
people, work is an opportunity to get away from the reality or get away from home. And with the lockdown, a lot of those things are taken away. So all people have is at home. All people have is the people who are there around 24/7, and whatever situations that may come, and it's hard and it's draining. I mean, I can't even imagine, what the parents are going through, the ones who are
Yeah.
at home with the kids 24/7 and, struggling financially, nobody to lean on emotionally. It starts to trickle down like the domino effect. You knock one
Yeah,
down, and then everything else around you starts to fall with it. And I know
definitely.
everybody's not under the same circumstances, but I feel like the majority of the human population right now are in adverse times right now.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It has been a hard time for many people.
Hmm.
What do you think can be done in society to reduce depression for people overall?
Number one, starting a conversation around it.
That's
Letting
key.
people know that it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be down. It's okay to be discouraged. I think all of the
Mhm.
human feelings and emotions we have are okay. Is what we do with them that makes the difference. Keeping things bottled in can only lead to a blowout. And when you blow out, who knows what the consequences of that might be or the outcome might be. So I
Yep.
think creating situations where people can express themselves without judgment, also coming with more creative ways for people to just I guess improve their own self-care routines. It's easy to forget about self. It's easy to do everything for those around you, to encourage those around you. But when it's time for self,
Hmm.
there's major neglect in that area. So I
Yeah.
think, just a full circle of support, and it doesn't always have to be around, financial measures. Just sometimes just a phone call, a simple gesture, maybe lunch, just somebody knowing that you care enough about them to check in on them.
Yeah.
And then also, being somebody, if somebody's checking on you, being able to receive that love, because I feel like a lot of people, even myself, sometimes I'm always good, but I'm left, by myself to deal with whatever I need to deal with and get over. So learning how
Okay.
to love, but also learning how to be loved and be
Yeah.
supported is huge.
Yes, that's important. you know, being open to giving and receiving love, because a lot of people are not open to that, and
Mhm.
you know, is quite detrimental.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree with
What does good mental health mean to you?
you. To me, that means everything, like your peace and your sanity.
Yeah. Good way of explaining
For
it.
real, like just your peace and your sanity. And getting to that is a journey, you know. And I told, you know, I've been telling myself more frequently, like, you know, we play sports, we play games, but you don't hear boxers refer to boxing as something they play. It's a fight.
Yeah.
And I believe that mental health is not a game, it's a fight. And
Mhm.
and you know, good mental health, I think it means the difference between, you know, the type of lifestyle you can live, or, you know, can't live, or you will live, or you won't live,
Yeah.
based on how you feel, you know, within. So I think, you know, good mental health is everything. And don't get me wrong, I know there's people that do, and you know, even myself probably have gone years, years at a time, you know, just feeling some type of way. But I think some of us develop this sense of perseverance where we know we're gonna get through whatever. I don't think that's necessarily healthy, because
Mm.
if you just become somebody that just knows how to deal with pain, maybe
Yeah.
you never heal, you never cope. You're
Yeah.
just somebody that carries it well. But I
Yeah.
firmly believe that too much of anything is not good for you, and at some point you'll have a blow up or a breakdown, and you could damage everything that you have and damage all the relationships with the people you care about if you don't properly take care of yourself. And
Yeah.
I think that's where, you know, it's important for men to get away from our pride and our ego and being strong all the time, being tough. Because I think sometimes being strong is being courageous enough to get some help, or
Yeah.
being courageous enough to
Agree
step
with
away
that.
from certain things and situations.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that. I do believe that being strong is being vulnerable, you know, being open to expressing yourself. And, you know, I do think that you need to be able to recognize your pain
Hmm.
in order to heal. Um, and also, healing is a process which doesn't have a time scale. So, you
Right.
know, people heal in different time frames.
Hmm.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that's a very, very important thing to know and be mindful of,
Hmm.
because, you know, you might heal from something in a week or a few days. It might take me a few months. And I think that sometimes we forget that we're all different and things impacts us differently. So, you know, I don't think it's a sliding scale or a set scale of how long it should take us to overcome things. You know, of course, as we get older, we probably develop the skills or mental capacity to overcome things at a quicker rate.
Yeah.
But even that, I'm realizing, like, sometimes being strong ain't strong enough, and sometimes what used to be strong for you is no longer strong. You know, and I really take pride in mental health, and in the way I feel, and the way, you know, I monitor my moods and the way I look at things, because I know that things can change, you know,
Yeah.
by the second.
Hmm.
So it's like a constant revolving door. Like, you really got to stay on it.
Yeah. 100% agree with that. Do you have your own mental health story that you'd be open to sharing?
100%.
Yeah.
So, you know, as far as like, I look at situations that could have, you know, I guess, so to say, broke me down or stopped me, but they motivated me. You know,
Hmm.
just growing up, you know, even the relationship I had with my pops, I didn't think, you know, looking back now, or when I was a kid, I always felt like, you know, I deserved more from my pops. But, you know, now as an adult, I realized, you know, my dad did the best that he could do with the cards he was given.
Yeah.
Um, so, you know, as a kid, I was so aggressive and disobedient, um, not really aware of how to channel my energy, or deal with what I was dealing with. But as an adult, I
Okay.
can kind of look back and see that, you know, my dad has his own story as well, and everybody around me have their own story. So, you know, who was I to kind of expect more when I should have been, grateful for what I was given. And even with just growing up and seeing some of the things that I was able to see, you get friends that's on drugs, the streets, everything that we're exposed to as teenagers, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then just getting hurt, playing sports, getting hurt, having concussions, jaw surgeries. I think a lot of things impact the way I am and the way I think and how I move. And to be honest, I think everything is related and connected to mental health.
Yeah.
Times in your life where you succeed, they do something to you. The times where you fail, they do something to you. So everything is a part of your mental story, whether you acknowledge it or not. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I just no matter what I'm doing or how I'm feeling, I try to be really, really, really close and intimate with my thoughts, whether they're deemed positive or negative. I make sure that I have them and to me that they're valid, regardless of what anybody else think. I don't need anybody to validate my thoughts and my feelings. And I think that was a pivotal moment in my own personal mental health journey. Because if you look at people on a daily basis, a lot of people are looking for approval from somebody.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you go to everybody with how you feel and they tell you that you shouldn't feel that way, that could be detrimental to you. So I know for myself, for my own journey, like I'm in tune with my feelings. And also I know like if I feel some type of way about something or somebody has done to me, I can put myself in their shoes and know like, B, if you wouldn't like that done to you, don't do that to nobody. You know? And I think that's where my mental health journey has taken me, because it was easy, for me to fly off at the mouth. It was easy for me to be combative. It was easy for me to be disrespectful. And I think now I realize that you never know what a person is going through or thinking. I know at times I feel like people playing with me, they don't know what I'm thinking or what I'm willing to do. And that just made me more mindful of my own journey. Like, remember how you feel and how you look at people when they're doing something you may not necessarily like, or you may not agree with how they treat you. And that's just the way that I look at some of these things now.
Yeah. Would you say you being in tune with how you're thinking and feeling, and that was a great way for you to manage your mental health?
To be honest, I believe so.
Yeah.
And I say that because this is the only way that I know how to manage it.
Yeah.
And I found many ways to keep myself sane, working out, just reflecting. I'm always reflecting. I do a lot of writing. I'm a very avid dreamer, and I see how powerful thoughts are and manifestation. Like everything, most of the things that I've sat down and thought, I put on paper, I brought to life.
Yeah.
And that goes back to every day is day one. It goes back to the world wouldn't spin the same without you. These are concepts that I told myself mentally, put them on paper, and now they're products and things that move people and give people that same energy, and they can take from it whatever they choose to take from it. But for me, it's all an extension and a testimony of how I manage my mental health. Even if you look at business, to run a business, to manage a business, you first got to manage what?
Yourself, yeah.
And dealing with clients, and sometimes people get on your nerves, and sometimes services don't come out as best as you thought or as best as you would like. So you have to make decisions. You can't blow a fuse. You have to be respectful. You got to make things work. You got to balance. And I've managed to do all of that and learn a lot of those things through business, but it translated into my personal life and how I operate as a person on a daily basis. And I still have bad days, man. Right now I'm in a dark phase right now in my personal life with a job situation and fighting a lawsuit and dealing with discrimination. But I still get up and do, my best to encourage others. But I'm learning, like I told you earlier, like learning how to be vulnerable and transparent. Like I don't have to make it seem like everything is perfect and peachy.
Exactly.
But I'm letting you know that every day is day one.
Yeah.
And I'm true to my calling, and I'm true to my message, and I'm true to my mission. And I think that's what people connect to, authenticity.
Definitely.
You know, I'm approachable, I'm reachable, like I'm a tangible testimony of somebody that's working to build something that's
Yeah,
bigger than me.
definitely. Definitely. I love that. It's very authentic, and you know, for you stepping into your purpose and helping people, it's really inspiring. So yeah, I really admire that.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you a lot.
What things do you do to help ease your mind?
So this is a good one. Easing my mind. I'm gonna say working out,
Nice.
running,
Yeah,
writing. I listen to a lot of music,
yeah.
and I listen to a lot of the same music every single day, just because
Wow.
I'm connecting with the story, and I find artists and stories that I can resonate with, and
Yeah,
that eases my mind and my journey when I can see them talk about some of the things they went through, and I can see them, you know, as they you know transition into who they are now. It just gives
definitely.
me something to grasp, you know.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, I enjoy being around my family.
yeah,
Um, I'm real simple, you know, just I can just sit anywhere, you know, for hours. You know, that's I'm a really really simple person. I want to say calm, but I'm also very on edge too. So I'm calm in certain settings, but as far as relaxing myself, just being in my own element. You
yeah.
know, I spend a lot of my time in space just dreaming, just visualizing things, joking around, clowning around, you know, just being a silly person, you know. And that's how I ease my mind, you know, making light of situations because I spend majority of my time thinking about something else, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. So you'd say the main things are music, exercise, and family time.
Yep.
Love
Music,
that.
working out, writing, family time.
Nice, nice. Love that. What words of wisdom would you give to people, you know, who might be going through a tough time, might be finding things hard at the moment? What would
Okay.
you say to them?
So what I'm gonna say to them, and what I'm saying to myself in a very trying moment right now is number one, know that you have a purpose. The world wouldn't spin the same without you. There's something you bring to
Nice.
the world that we wouldn't have without you. Number two, you're gonna go through some things, so you got to be able to persevere. You know, be resilient.
Yeah.
Know that the mental hustle is always going to continue. You know, full of ups and full of downs.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, you know, every day is day one. Like
Day
every
one.
day you wake up, you have a fresh start to accomplish anything you aspire to. Now, you may not get the big picture in one day, but you have an opportunity to get up and lay a brick.
Yeah.
You know, brick by brick, day by day. My granddad said, build it and the people will come.
Yeah.
So
Build the
whatever it
foundation.
is in your heart and your mind that you want, you
Yeah.
got to go for it with everything in you, you know, through the thickness, through the highs, through the lows, and just
Yeah.
stick with it. Never give up.
Love that. Love that. I think that's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
perfect way to end this interview.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time out. Guys, make
Thank
sure you
you.
go and check out Day One Ambition on Instagram. A very inspiring page, you know, and has a good clothing line, doing good things in the community. So yeah, make sure you go and check them out. Would you like to say
Appreciate
anything
you.
at all?
We're gonna bring it to the UK, and thank you
Yes.
for the opportunity to come and talk to you. I
Yes.
think it's beautiful that we can connect from across the world, you know, via internet. And who
Yep.
knows, you know, maybe one day we'll be able to physically, you know, host an event or make appearances with each other. I'm all ears. I'm all open for it. It's a blessing. It's bigger than me.
Definitely.
Together we
Worldwide
can make this.
connections. That's what it's
Yeah,
all about. That's
let's
what
do
it's
it.
all about. But
Yeah,
yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out. I really appreciate it.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye.